Notclip has posted a short but sweet video interviewed NETHERALM Studios creative director at Boo that looks at how the studio creates Mortal Kombat's famously bloody fatalities. According to Boo, the process begins the same way for each game in the franchise. The dev team gets the ball rolling by creating one fatality that showcases Mutak to the player in an interesting and incredibly violent way. Boon will usually lead the charge on that first fatality, drawing up the move himself, before heading to the motion capture studio to see how it translates on screen. The very start of the process is always a fatality that's going to set the tone for the rest of them. I am usually the one who draws up that fatality and says, okay, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. This is going to let us demonstrate our new blood tech. This is going to let us exploit this type of animation, a part ecosystem. He explained. So I will draw something up and go into the motion capture studio and capture the animations. It's usually an animatic without the final effects, so we can get a sense of the pacing and where the cool moments are going to be. So, by the time that one is completely, we have a whole bunch of other ones that are in the queue. But that one leads the charge and sets the tone for the rest of them. After that, the entire team will spend weeks and months in meetings hashing out different ideas before sending their picks to concept artists and animators. Curiously, they sometimes find that some of the best ideas on paper just do not feel right in game, and often need a fair bit of tweaking to get the desired result. If you are curious to learn more about the process, you can watch the full interview at the top of the article. Oh, and be sure to check out Notclip on YouTube. If you like what you see, Hiddensky-based developer Hipfire Games has raised an additional $205 in funds for its debut mobile game, Fail Space, as Pocket Gamer. Biz reports. The funding came from Sisuke Ventures, Business Finland, and for undisclosed game industry angel investors. Details of the investment were not disclosed. CEO of Hipfire Games, Antis Ortanen tells Pocket Gamer. This investment will give the studio enough financial support for the next 9 to 12 months as it prepares to launch its first title. Fail Space is a multiplayer VR mobile game, based on delivering packages across the galaxy, and will support cross-platform capability. Hipfire's long-term focus is firmly on creating a diverse portfolio of multiplayer games and refining our technology that will easily allow players with different types of devices to join game sessions of players using high-end or standalone VR devices. Says Artinon. The developer has also been financially backed by tech stars and Nordic Excel startups in the past. Some news out of Sony today. Sony Interactive Entertainment Deputy President is to drop the deputy and become President and CEO of C as of April 1st, effectively swapping roles with the current President and CEO Van Cadera. It's a significant shift, since Kodaro now replaced ex-Sony frontman Kazuo Koz. He released April, shortly after he stepped down. Following a 6-year run, the company took the opportunity to reorganize its global operations last April, establishing a new structure which, reportedly set upon sales and marketing divisions within Sony Interactive Entertainment America, CA, Europe, C, and Japan Asia, CA, to report Ryan. In his new role, Ryan will report to Sony Corp. Chief Genichiro Yoshida. Cadera will step down into the C deputy president role, and the company makes a specific point of saying he will be focusing on enhancing the network GM will manage sales overall organization and operations, reads an excerpt of a statement attributed to Sony chief Yoshida, which will allow Chang to focus on the key mission to further develop PlayStation Network, that has now grown into an immensely large platform with over 90 million monthly active users worldwide. Liz Schuler, FOCO Secretary-Treasurer, makes her case for the Game Developer Union in the wake of Activision Blizzard's massive layoff wave, a move that was announced in the same call as the company's record quarter. The Union Federation of FOCO has published an open letter to game developers urging members of the industry to organize. The FCO itself is the largest labor organization in the United States and counts 55 individual unions and more than 12.5 million workers among its affiliates. The letter, readable in full on Kotaku, calls out many of the issues that have prompted conversations about unionization in just recent years, like excessive crunch, toxic work conditions, inadequate pay, and job instability. The industry, points out FCO Secretary-Treasurer Liz Schuler, boasted sales 3.6 times greater than those of the film industry in 2018. Yet much of that financial success is not felt by the developers working on the games that generate those billions. Executives are always quick to brag about your work. It's the talk of every industry corner office and boardroom. They pay tribute to the games that capture our imaginations and seem to defy economic gravity. They talk up the latest innovations in virtual reality and celebrate record-smashing releases as your creations reach unparalleled new heights. Says Schuler, my question is this: what have you gotten in return? They get reach. They get notoriety. They get to be crowned visionaries and regarded as pioneers. What do you get? Outrageous hours and inadequate paychecks. Stressful, toxic work conditions that push you to your physical and mental limits. The fear that asking for better means risking your dream job. Schuler makes the argument that the change needed by the industry will not happen on its own, and will not come from those at the top of the AAA development food chain. She calls out the work already done by Game Workers Unite, a group that got its start last year with the goal of advocating for a game developers union, and has already become a game developer-focused branch of the IAB Union in the United Kingdom, as evidence that game developers can embrace the power of solidarity and prove that you do not have to accept a broken, twisted status quo. Change will happen when you gain leverage by joining together in a strong union, says Schuler, and it will happen when you use your collective voice to bargain for a fair share of the wealth you create every day. No matter where you work, bosses will only offer fair treatment when you stand together and demand it. Vivox, the communications platform that powers games like Fortnite and League of Legends, is releasing a SDK that gives Nintendo Switch developers the ability to use the company's text and voice chat tools in their own multiplayer games. It's a welcome utility for devs working with the console since Nintendo's flagship system is not exactly known for intuitive voice chat options, even for the company's first-party games, like Splatoon 2, according to VentureBeat. Vivo Access Tech also offers support for cross-platform play right out of the box, a feature that is creeping up more and more for multiplayer games, with games like Fortnite, Minecraft, and Rocket League now offering cross-console play on several systems. Vivox itself was recently acquired by Unity, though the Switch SDK itself had been in the works months before that agreement came to be. Vivox also notably offers a piece tools for free to smaller developers, so long as less than 5,000 players are logged into that Vivox using game at once. More information on that program and Vivox itself can be found on the platform's website. The Gamasutra job board is the most diverse, active and established board of its kind for the video game industry. Here is just one of the many positions being advertised right now. Location: Barcelona, Spain.